The Significance and Brilliance of Roman Architecture by Sceville. Upon first glance, the unobservant, assuming 21st century mind might not consider the Pantheon a remarkable architectural feat. However, with a speck of critical analysis, one can determine that, unless supported, heavy things will fall. Thus, the most captivating part of the Pantheon is the enormous dome that is centered over the Grand Rotunda. This gravity-defying dome is even more impressive considering how long ago it was built. Of all ancient civilizations, Rome is most notable for its advancements in engineering and henceforth its distinctive architectural style. Roman architecture is characterized by buildings primarily built from concrete, columns and arches, a massive circular dome looming over a rotunda, and an oculus carved out of the crown of said dome. The matter at hand is as follows. The image on the right depicts an unidentified building, and it is the mission of this paper to discern its historical origin. There are three critical observations to make from the first glance at the top right portion of the image, the present-day condition of the building. The architectural staple of this building is a modest dome over the rotunda, featuring a comparatively robust oculus. Equally important, but less noticeable, is the material used to construct the building: concrete, to make bricks, and marble. These three features are indicative of Roman origin. The dome seems short in height compared to its radius. Alternatively, the oculus appears disproportionately large. Its diameter is roughly 1/3 that of the dome. The walls of the entire building are made of concrete-faced bricks, and the dome itself is made of rough concrete. Assuming this is a Roman building, the concrete in question is Roman concrete. This is an important distinction because the Romans invented and perfected their concrete mixture to such a degree that even modern concrete cannot compete with it in erosion tests. This new building material sparked the concrete revolution, which led to the re-engineering of domes. The PowerPoint revealed that marble was involved in the original construction, but there are no visible remnants. Still looking at the modern-day image, there are 4 fully visible rooms. Each is marked with a square archway with no ruins of columns in sight. Directly centered above each arch are 2 holes, each approximately the size of a fist. They look as though they could have fastened something to the wall at one point. In its current state, the dome looks as though it has suffered integral damage. There are small cavities on the sides. 5 are located at approximately 3/4 the height of the dome and are spaced in between the arches, denoting the rooms surrounding the rotunda. There is a 6th directly in between 2 arches at the base of the dome. There does appear to have been a decent effort at restoration of the building. Though it hasn't been restaged with furniture or repainted like it is in the hypothetical reconstruction image, it has been made to look historically nice. There have been lights installed in the floor. They point up the wall space between the arches. The bricks look to be in near-perfect condition, pristine and undeteriorated. These factors hint that the building has become functional again, though likely with a different purpose than it originally served. As a whole, the building looks ancient, but clean and well kept. The bottom right portion of the image is a rendering of what the building might have looked like in its prime. The fact that there is such a rendering implies that at one point, this building was fully complete and useful. There isn't a blank boring space to be seen. The dome is painted with a scene depicting nude people, perhaps deities, animals, and boats. There are decorative columns attached to the wall between each of the arches and a discontinuous frieze atop the columns that encompasses the rotunda, differentiating the walls from the dome. The walls are all painted in a marble gold scheme. The floor of the rotunda looks like marble with a circular pattern, all enclosing a sun in the center. Upon close inspection, there is text in the top left corner of the reconstruction image that reads, Domus Aurea, Octagonal Courtroom, Rome, Italy. This does give quite a good clue as to what this building is, or used to be. Nonetheless, this still unidentified building bears a remarkable resemblance to the iconic Roman Pantheon. The Pantheon is a true architectural wonder of advanced Roman engineering. The great building is made of brick-faced concrete and features all the characteristics of Roman architecture: a dome with an oculus, magnificent columns and arches, and, of course, concrete. The Pantheon is in fantastic condition as a result of its near-continuous use since its first construction. The dome of the Pantheon is extravagant, even without its original paint, because of the numerous coffers that decorate it. From floor to ceiling, the Pantheon measures 142 feet, most of which is made up by the dome. The dome has a diameter of 142 feet. In comparison, the oculus is only 27 feet wide, approximately 19% that of the dome. Separating the walls and the dome of the Pantheon is a massive, continuous frieze. Beneath it On the circumference of the rotunda are ornate niches and columns. The floor is made of marble that remains in pristine condition. It is slightly angled down towards the center of the rotunda, under the oculus, so that rain that enters will drain, not pool. The floor pattern is geometrically composed of squares and circles. These factors all serve to prove that the unidentified building is analogous to, however much smaller than, the Pantheon. The only significant variation between the two buildings is scale and detail, both of which might be a reflection of the period-appropriate technology, indicating that the unidentified building was constructed before the Pantheon. Whilst consulting Ambler's Smart History article to give an approximate time period to the unidentified building, the aforementioned Domus Aurea came up as an example of imperial period architecture. This confirms the conspicuous text on the uncaptioned work and the sum of all the comparative architectural evidence. With confidence, the uncaptioned work will now be called Domus Aurea, built by architects Severus and Celer for the Roman Emperor Nero. The building has indeed been repurposed into a museum, duly highlighting the architectural significance of concrete. Yay, concrete! Woo!